Breaker Broke 23. Today in this video I want to talk about the Radioddity QT40. Now this radio has been out for a couple of years and I've been very hesitant to get one of these in here just because I'm not really a fan of a lot of these modern radios and the noise floor that they have. But the reason why I'm doing the video on this is because this radio is a very impressive radio. In my opinion, I think this is probably one of the better or possibly best 10 meter /CB radios out there on the market today. So I'm just going to go over some of the features real quick. I will leave a link in the description box to another video of mine on my other channel that shows how to perform the 11 meter mod and the frequency span that you'll get after that modification, as well as RF output readings. And this is a pretty impressive radio for sure. Okay, so we're going to start left to right. We have a 4-pin mic jack on here. Volume squelch. Volume is the center knob here. The outer knob is the squelch. The RF gain here on the outer knob, and the center knob is fine tune, also known as a clarifier. All right, we have our mode selector here. So we got PA, FM, AM, upper lower sideband, our band selector A through F. And then we have mic gain and power. The power adjustment here is on the outer knob, and the center knob is the mic gain. Over here we have A&L noise blanker, and then a standalone A&L and off. The A&L circuitry in this is very effective and does not lose selectivity. I really like this A&L circuitry in here. We have NRC, or noise reduction circuitry. Think of it as like sort of like a DSP. And this is very effective for pulling some of those weak stations out of the woodwork in a high noise environment. Over here we have our 10kc switch and off, and then monitor. So it's basically like a talkback. So every time we key the mic, we can hear what the radio sounds like or what you sound like through the either internal speaker or an external speaker. We have echo on and off. And then over here we have our band switch, which we have high, low, and weather bands, or we can listen to the weather channels. Has the 10 weather channels built into that. Transmit and receive light, and the rotary channel control. And this has a really nice feel. This rotary encoder is really nice feeling. I really like this. I like that. It has a good positive feel. It's not sloppy. It feels like an old school Cobra 148. Let's take a look at the back panel. Okay, on the back panel we have a really nice heat sink with the rounded corners here. This has the basic cabinet design as your standard Ranger board, or Ranger chassis I should say, even though this is an Anytone built product. It's just got that old school export radio look to it. SO239 right here. PA speaker, 3.5 millimeter jack, 3.5 millimeter jack for the external speaker, and the ever so famous, what I call the Uniden 3-pin power plug here. So this is positive, and then over here we have our negative, and this is kind of our keeper pin so we don't get things backwards. We have a data port here, which is pretty neat. You can actually plug this into your computer and program this radio from your computer, and you can program things like your Roger beep and stuff like that. Basically all the same things that you can do from the front menu, but this is kind of fun to use. I really like that feature. Okay, pretty interesting. We paid for a whole radio and we only got half of it. So, very interesting. Well, to some of you, that board may look somewhat familiar or close to it, but we have a driver, 2 finals. These are IRF 520s. So this radio is going to swing. All, of course, surface mount technology, but standard electrolytics where necessary along this. I'm going to assume this is the audio and the regulator circuit. The regulator is heavily heat sinked. That is pretty darn cool. I'm glad they did that. And yeah, I like this. This is really interesting. Radio on a chip. Okay, so I see where we're going to do the mod at. It's going to be one of these jumpers, right? It's going to be this jumper right here. So we'll zoom in and we'll do the mod. Real quick. This has one of these newer black speakers here. Very efficient. These really don't sound too bad when they're on the right or on a good audio circuit. But as far as golden screwdriver work, you're not going to be doing much to this radio. And as I've learned here in the past couple of years, you just don't really need to do that. These look like some pretty nice controls here. And as you saw, we have the analog meter on the front. So it's a very, very nicely built radio. They've got an IC here, like a 16-pin or so, with a heatsink on it. That's interesting. But they've got a lot of beef. Come on, camera, focus. Sorry, stick my big paw in there. But with all those electrolytics in there, you know, that looks to be like a pretty serious power supply and audio section in there. Okay, so I'm just going to go over a couple of the menu functions here and just show you guys the basics. When this arrives and you take this out of the box, it will have that ever annoying function beep. And so I'm going to do that. And what else are we going to do? I'll show you the dimmer as well. There's 12 functions in the manual. However, there's a hidden function in there that's not listed in the manual, so you'll want to go and check out the Radioddity website. Pretty cool stuff. Also, there is a built-in frequency counter. I guess you guys may or may not have noticed. You know, a lot of the Galaxies and some of the exports will have an output jack for a frequency counter on their radios. And the one bad thing about a lot of the superstar-looking rigs, these export rigs that are set up like this, is they just did not have a frequency counter. This puppy has a built-in frequency counter, and I really like that feature. And I'll show you how we activate that. So over here on the microphone, we have our up-down buttons for channel selection. So what we're going to do is we're going to push both of those at the same time to activate the frequency counter. Now this goes kind of fast, but after a while you do get the hang of it. So we're just going to go to channel 40 here real quick, just to give us some even numbers here. So I'm going to push the up-down buttons on the microphone at the same time, and it's flashing our numbers here. So we have 27405, 27405. If I move the clarifier all the way clockwise, it'll bump us up 74055. Pretty cool. Okay, so I really like that. That is super neat. Using that with the 10kc switch here, you can pretty much go anywhere you want. 27415. I really dig that feature. So you can get all the A channels. You can get the channels between 3 and 4, 7 and 8, 11 and 12. I think there was one here. It was 15 and 16. And then, of course, 19A, the channel between 19 and 20. So that's pretty cool. All right. Let's mess around with a couple menu features here. I'm not going to make this a very long video. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn the radio off. Okay. So what I'm going to do is take and press and hold the up key on the microphone and turn the radio on. Now we are into our menu mode, and the first one, or number 1, is beep. So we can turn the function beep on and off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to press the PTT button, the press to talk, and hold it. And I can just rotate the channel selector, let go, and we will have our beep function. So let's turn the radio off. How annoying. All right, let's turn that off. Again, we're going to push the channel up button. While we're holding it, we're going to turn the radio on. Okay, we're going to press the PTT button And we are going to turn that off. By the way, this is the level of loudness 1 through 5. So we have that off. So we're going to get rid of that. Let's go over here to the dimmer. That is 4 functions down. So we're going to press the up button. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to push the PTT and hold it. And we have, let me turn off my light here. We have low, medium, and high. That's pretty cool. Let's mess around with another one here. Let's go to the, oh, this has a built-in SWR meter. Yeah, let's go and do that. So we're going to go up to SR and push the PTT button. And I turned it on because I absolutely love this feature. Or we can turn it off. But I'm going to leave it back on, and I'm going to show you what that does. And then if we go up another function up, there's our hidden function that you'll have to look on the website to figure out what that is. And then this is the overall reset, so you can reset your functions. We don't want to do that, so I'm going to toggle it back to the original one, function number 1. I'm going to turn the radio off. I'm going to turn the radio back on. Let it boot up. And when I key this radio, now I'm into a dummy load right now, so we're not going to interfere with the outside world. My dummy load has almost a flat SWR. I'm going through several pieces of coax here, but anyway, that's absolutely awesome. Just beautiful. I'll go over here to AM, and we'll just give it a quick power check here real quick. Let me see if I can zoom in here, see how this goes. And let's see here. Let's go over here. A little bit more. There we go. See if we can get the watt meter and the frequency counter in the same shot. I'm going to turn my light back on here. On AM, out of the box, we're seeing 12 watts maximum RF output. And what we're looking at is we're looking at this bottom scale. So that would be 20 watts, 40 watts, 60 watts, etc. This little segment right here is 10. And out of the box, we're just a hair over 12 watts. And of course, we can see our frequency jittering a little bit because I have the mic gain up. Let me turn that off. Anyway, 27.255, which is channel 23. And of course, again, the radio is showing that 1-to-1 SWR. Pretty darn cool. Let's go to single sideband. Now, I am in RMS mode on the watt meter here. So again, we're going to read the bottom scale. And the RMS is basically going to give us a reading of just average talk power. Let's turn that mic gain back up here. 1, 2, 3. Hello, radio. Hello, radio, radio, radio. So we are looking good. 1, 2, audio. And that's 14 watts. Looking good. Let's put it in PEP feel good wattses. Hello, radio. 1, 2, 3. Hello, hello, hello. Audio, 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 audio. That's banging 40 watts. I'm not yelling. I'm just speaking directly into the microphone. That is pretty darn impressive. Let's see here. One last test I guess we could do. Let's go to AM. I'll turn that off, and we'll just go and check out what frequencies we have here. So real quick, 25.615, 27 triple nickel. Band F gets us to 28.305. And that is what we're looking like on the radio. I am over here to band F. Come on, camera. Focus. There we go. Band F on the band selector here, and low on the high band selector. So, oh my gosh, what will that do? Let's see what we can do here. So we'll run over here. Just kind of at a random here. Here we are. This is band D. Come on. Band D on the high band, and we are at 30.105. And again, because you have that 5kc slider as well as the 10kc switch on this radio, you can pretty much cover everything you want. So if you have your, what is it, tech license, you can cover that portion of 10 meters, and as well, if you have your general, you can cover the rest of the 10-meter band. So pretty darn impressive. As far as using this radio, again, for a modern radio, I absolutely love the receiver in this thing. This is probably the best bang for the buck out there right now. You're in about the mid $100 range with this. I've seen it go as low as $143 at certain times on Amazon, and as high as about $179 in the general retail market. You cannot beat that. This has two finals in it. It's a dual final radio. It has three IRF 520 transistors in it, which is very common, gives you a lot of peak, a lot of swing, and really good audio. Anyway, that's it. I'll leave a link to the more detailed video down below, and thanks for watching.